The world isn't run by weapons anymore, or energy, or money. It's run by little ones and zeros, little bits of data. It's all just electrons. I don't care. I don't expect other people to understand this, but I do expect you to understand this. There's a war out there, old friend. A world war. And it's not about who's got the most bullets. It's about who controls the information. What we see and hear, how we work, what we think. It's all about the information.
This scene from Robert Redford's movie Sneakers tells it all. There is a war out there. It's a war of information and disinformation. It's a war of half-truths and outright lies. It's a war for control. The control of your mind and your body. Americans are traditionally independent, very hard to control. But the architects of the New World Order have ways to force you into submission. First, through a well-orchestrated agenda including health care, financial security, safety from crime, and environmental issues, the public will be coerced into accepting a national identification card. It will be disguised in the cloak of benevolence, the government doing a great good deed for the people. Once the national identification card is in place, it will become the ID card. Without it, you'll not be able to make deposits or withdrawals at the bank, write a check at the supermarket, or even drive your automobile. Soon thereafter, legislation will require all citizens to carry their national ID card at all times.
Pete Wilson has a scary plan. Californians will all carry mandatory ID cards. Wilson wants doctors and nurses turning in patients to government bureaucrats. He wants teachers to turn in students who don't have a card, and neighbors to report on their neighbors. Brown says Wilson's ID cards are un-American. Wilson says, don't dare leave home without it.
Just how close to reality is a national ID card? How many years will it take the government to collect the information for its dossier on you? The fact is, everything is already in place.
It's the information age. We'd all be amazed if we knew how much information was gathered about the things we buy, the things we do.
Existing computer databases contain the names and ages of every member of your family, the size of your checking and savings accounts, the number and kinds of automobiles you drive, the state of your health, your credit rating, and your political and religious persuasions. And with the new breakthroughs in the world of high technology, these records are no longer confined to the sterile domain of the big mainframe computer. Today, a tiny piece of plastic that looks very similar to an ordinary credit card is capable of holding literally thousands of pages of information. It will contain your medical history, your x-rays, your credit rating, your driver's license, and will even let you make purchases without having to use cash or write a check. Your photograph, fingerprints, signature, and possibly even the retina pattern of your eye will be digitized directly into the card, making it impossible for anyone to use but you. Sound wonderful? You bet. In theory, it's a very good plan. But as with most things, there's a fly in the ointment. The question is, what other things is that little card capable of doing?
Again, we look at smart card technology, such as the AT&T card, where it is possible to partition the memory secretly so that you can separate that information and not have access to it unless you're authorized.
This means that your national ID card can carry your credit report, your record of traffic citations, information on any arrests or convictions, your IRS history, even an evaluation of your attitude toward the state. In effect, this innocent-looking little piece of plastic will contain your life history, a profile that can be examined by any police officer or duly appointed authority. But you will never be allowed to see it. No longer do they need massive central computers or high-tech information lines. Any authority can simply slip your national ID card into his portable reader, and your records are instantly at his fingertips. Now the noose is tightened. Big Brother has you exactly where he wants you. Without your national identity card, you'll not be allowed to purchase anything. No food, no clothing. In effect, the marketplace will be closed. You can't get medical care for your family, and without a valid identity card, you won't be permitted to hold a job. You're entirely under the control of the state. But it doesn't stop at national boundaries. The real goal of the globalists is to have every person on this planet marked with an international ID number. A much more aggressive program than that of Nazi Germany during World War II. Every man, woman, and child will be identified with an electronic tattoo. It will be the mark of the New World Order. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Many people believe that when the book of Revelation, chapter 13, in the Bible, talks about the mark of the beast, it is talking about a tattoo. A visible mark. But actually, the original Greek New Testament word was charagma, from the Greek word charasso, meaning to engrave. It is important to note that this noun, charagma, in Greek is accusative neuter singular, and is preceded by the Greek preposition epi. Now this word in Greek means upon. Thus we are to understand that the mark is actually an inclusion made in the upper layer of the skin.
In the upper layer of skin will make a lot of sense as we further examine the current trends in high-technology computerized identification. Whether you accept the prophecies of the Bible or not, the predictions of the end times written thousands of years ago come perilously close to matching precisely what is happening in the world today. With the development of the barcode some 15 years ago, suddenly it became practical to identify and price a wide variety of merchandise. Positive identification in the information age was now possible, and Hollywood had a field day with the new idea.
Identification. Request to leave the United States. Granted. Proceed.
Got a positive here. Oh no, it's gonna be Miss
Readers. Excuse my language, ma'am. You'd think they'd learn? Some never do. Ain't that the truth?
They first invaded our lives 15 years ago at the grocery checkout. Those zebra-like linear logos called barcodes. Parallel lines that replaced price tags.
People make mistakes. The barcode readers don't.
With a mistake rate of only 1 in 5 million, experts say, the barcode loaded with data linked to computers has revolutionized industry.
The 90s are here, and we've seen the light.
It shines on bars and stripes everywhere, from Preparation H and pineapple preserves to dirty laundry, lost luggage, library books, and video to go. Plasma banks barcode bags of blood to match donors with recipients. Hospitals scan patients' bracelets for medical history. Dallas commuters pass optical scanners at toll booths without stopping, while Arizona scientists glued tweezer-sized chips to the back of honeybees to track them in and out of the hive. Soon enough, experts predict a barcode on your license plate will permit police to track speeders and issue tickets without ever pulling you over.
The multi-billion-dollar-a-year identification business is growing so rapidly that even its executives have failed to understand where all that technology is leading.
It is the future. The future is here.
But don't its promoters find the incredibly powerful potential even a little bit frightening?
Not on my side, I guess, because I'm not being monitored, I guess.
Not the one being monitored? The fact is, we will all be monitored. But not by any mark as simple as a tattooed barcode. But just what form is the identifying mark likely to take? Let's review the various technologies capable of tracking the enormous population that will be forced under the heel of the New World Order. First and lowest on the list of possibilities is magnetic stripe technology, the system we're all so familiar with on the Visa, Master, and ATM cards. The magnetic stripe is the dark-colored stripe on the back of the card.
Magnetic stripe technology. It has 1,000 uses. Credit cards,